Happy summer solstice. Woo woo. I'm going to start calling this beautiful community the inspired tubers. So we'll wait a couple minutes for people to join. And even if people don't join, that's totally okay too. I have the intention of really getting more here on YouTube to help to inspire this particular platform to have more accessibility to positivity, spiritual, inspirational content. And so I am just really excited. I think this is maybe my first time that I'm actually on time. How funny is that? So, first off, I want to just, I don't know who's been caught up. I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but I was like, yeah, I'm just doing it. Who's been perhaps, just watching this whole unfortunate experience with the submarine and the Titanic. So if anybody's been just affected or just, in this anxious state of like what is going on, I just want to send my love your way. Because it is quite tragic and yeah, my heart goes out to you. And so, if you are joining, please let us know where you are joining from, how you are connecting to this channel. Obviously, we have Joe on here. Hi, my loves. So, let's talk about it. I'm just curious, energetically, if anybody has also been feeling a little bit of lack of motivation this week, a little bit of burnout, a little bit of fatigued, or a little bit fatigued. Sorry, there we go. And if you have been feeling those ways, kudos to you if you've been feeling motivated, inspired. I personally had to kind of take a time out this week. I don't really know exactly why, but like the last 2 weeks, I kind of was in this funk. And I talked about this briefly on my Instagram, which I really highly encourage you to follow me on Instagram at Just Be Inspired. That it's not about focusing on falling out of alignment because there's always going to be things outside situations, experiences. Yeah, exactly, Maria. Right. Um, there's always going to be different things in our environment that affect us that throw us perhaps not in our highest vibration. Again, I always say this, but to quote my mentor and teacher, David G., change is not part of the process, it is the process. And so we're always going to be in this flux of change, feeling really great, feeling really not so great. And so we can't really focus on that, but what we can focus on is our comeback rate. So perhaps something that maybe a year ago would take you a month to really recover from now takes you a week. That's what I'm talking about. And it's so funny, but I had a dear friend of mine in a really polite way, but kind of challenged me and said, do you ever talk about things that are positive? I'm like, all the time. But I also think that this is a safe space for us to be vulnerable and to allow ourselves to have radical honesty, which is something that I talked about during the last live. We talk about radical acceptance, but we don't talk about radical honesty. And so it's not about being positive or negative, it's about being radically honest with where you are in this moment. I had the beautiful luxury of going to Greece to do Reiki and spiritual healing work. And I also had the opportunity to stay in Sweden for an evening. And it was very eye opening because when I was in Switzerland, all of the beautiful souls on the trip and the retreat were kept asking everybody, how are you doing? So good to see you as well. Hello, loves. And everybody kept saying that's not a question to really ask here. Or they also would say not good. And I think that here in the United States, we are not used to just somebody, a complete stranger, right? Saying to you, how are you? And you responding with, not so great, or I'm in a funk, right? That's not the typical interaction that we receive. And so it was very eye opening to have that response of people just acknowledging that they weren't feeling great. And I didn't have the time to necessarily go into, oh, why are you not feeling well? Right. But just to simply say, thank you for sharing and just receiving that. And so when I come on these lives and I talk about how we're energetically feeling and the temperature and where we are, it's not to diminish if you're feeling well, but it's to honor your radical honesty of who you are in this moment. So for me, in this moment, to be radically honest, I have been struggling the last 2 weeks, the last 2 days specifically. And today was an honest moment of, I can't stay here. This energy of being in this space of not motivated, not energized, isn't serving me. And sometimes that energy does serve you. Sometimes just vegging out, not doing anything can serve you. But I had already kind of gotten to the point where it wasn't. All right. And so that's what I think is so interesting about this summer solstice, is because we are working with the sun's energy, which is that strength, which is that motivation. And I think it's kind of also, to be honest with you, very surreal that we had this whole submarine um tragedy happen on the longest day of sun, because they were in the depths of the ocean where there was no light. Going here, I'm going deep. And so I think about that. Why have I been fascinating with the submarine and everything that's happened? And if you are, please leave it here in the comments. And if you're not, it's okay. But it's interesting that we have these opposing energies of really being brought to us through the news, through social media, TikTok, whatever it is, right? All these different platforms talking about how they were in this space of darkness, right? And then we had the longest day of light yesterday that's celebrated. And so I take that as that we get to be in the in between. We get to honor that space of darkness where we can't see the light, but know that the light always cracks in. That's just where it's at. The light will always seep in. And so often in the spiritual world, we talk about the moon energy because it's connected to our intuitive sense and that, phase of change and all of the great, divine moon magic. But the sun is equally important. The sun literally sustains life. It breathes life force energy, prana, into all living things. It represents that releasing. The sun connects with the right side of our body, which is that energy of letting go, to bringing new strength, to bringing new determination. The sun's energy, it burns. And you know what? Some things take longer to burn than others. If you ever really want to do a powerful meditation, okay, and this is actually, let's talk about it. Let's just actually dive in. So, some things that you can do with working within the sun solstice energy. And to me, this is just the start of summer. So, let's just work with it in that way. Is taking a fire pit, okay, or maybe a big candle. I don't really trust myself with fire. So, probably a fire pit would be more ideal for me. And writing down right now the things that are no longer bringing you strength and to just surrendering it to that fire energy. Because as we know, fire is alchemy, it's shift, it's transformation. And noticing that maybe you start off with like, you know, the basics. Okay, I'm going to burn away, my scarcity around finance mindset, right? Like starting off small, but then getting deeper and deeper and deeper and throw it into a pit or candle and see which ones take longer to burn. Because some things are harder for us to burn and they take longer than others. So, energetically, perhaps allow yourself the space to see what that looks like. So, that would be something that I would invite us all to do. Number one, with this summer solstice energy. Number two would be to allow yourself the space to sun gaze. And you don't have to look obviously directly at the sun. That's not what I mean. But just take in that light energy. Go outside in Mother Nature, wherever is your favorite space that brings you that comfort, that brings you that security to be able to have that foundation and just take in the sun. Just take a deep breath in and feel it in your solar plexus. Our solar plexus chakra is connected to the element of fire. It's connected to the color of yellow, which is that sun. So just breathe it in. Just placing your hands on your solar plexus above your navel, below your chest, and just taking in that ignition, that inner light, and just saying, okay, what do I seek to light me up today that is also seeking me? What do I seek to light me up today that is also seeking me? That's powerful, right? So work with the sun's energy. And so another thing that you can do is you can burn a candle, which I have behind me, and not just obviously throw things in the candle if you don't want to do that, or maybe you do, but maybe there's a smaller candle that you'd like to work with. But utilizing a candle is a way to connect with your ancestors. In the shamanic culture, they will place flowers, candles on an altar, crystals, um, to help to give gratitude to their ancestors. And so I do that every week. I try to have fresh flowers every week. Actually, I need to get some more, to be honest with you. I have a space where I have crystals, all my stuff, and I like to light a candle and just give thanks. And so right now, the summer solstice, it's marking the whole first part of the year. So even just allow yourself right now to give thanks to what you have received over the last 6 months. What have you received in 2023? I'd love to hear in the comments. I know that we have like 4 people, but even the replay, okay? What have you received in the last 6 months that you can light that candle in honor of? That would be another amazing offering. The other thing is, because we are talking about the sun's energy, it's important for us to know, what am I committed to breathing life into? What am I committed to breathing life into? So we can't just necessarily let it go, even though the sun's energy does help us to release and it supports us in that. The bigger messages here is, what ideas, what desires, what mood for myself am I breathing life into? Yeah. And so when we look at it in terms of that, that allows a whole different inner dialogue with ourselves to happen. How is this resonating for everybody out there? I need to take a sip of water. I like to know. Just something. Even if it's, what are you breathing life into? Also, for all my plant people, this is a really good time to work with the energy of plants. Okay. To be reminded deeply of that sun's energy. All right. So if there is no, come on, YouTubers, I'm literally inspiring you, aka pressuring you to share something. Let's be a little bit more vulnerable on a not super vulnerable platform. All right, let's do that. Okay, YouTube is like, hey, where do I get my information? That, all right. How can we really add a little bit more of that fiery energy on here? So I'm going to do the guided meditation and hope that in the spirit of this summer solstice and energy that we allow ourselves to be a little bit vulnerable here. So wherever you are, let's actually warm up the hands. That's a good way. Let's bring a little bit of heat. Get that heat stirring and going. And then just allow yourself to place it on any area of your body that you feel like you need healing. Right now, my throat. Yeah, I could use a little bit of love. So just radiating some of that heat, placing it on your body. And this is what that sun energy is bringing us into our life. And so now I'm going to invite you to take your hands and place them around your solar plexus. And this is our connection to the sun and that fire energy and that yellow. This is where we hold our desires. This is our connection to ourselves and how we show up in the world around us and what our perspective is and how we show up of ourselves. This is where you get to be selfish, which is not a bad thing. This is where you are in the action of your dreams. And so right now, as you have your hands placed above your navel, below your chest, on your solar plexus, start to just generate some heat. Just feeling that warmth of self. Breathing that in and letting that go. Breathing that in one more time. And letting that go. And now just allowing yourself to take that a little bit further by expanding the breath and feeling the diaphragm, starting to feel that breath really lie at this area. So breathing in for the count of 5, 4, feeling expand, 3, 2, 1, and letting that breath go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll do that 2 more times. Breathing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One last time. Breathing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as you have your hands placed around your sacral chakra, if accessible, I'm going to invite you to imagine that you are igniting a beautiful, bright yellow light. and that this light is moving through your fingertips, through the palms of your hand, and swirling around you this bright yellow warmth. And as you feel this warmth, you start to feel a little bit of movement. Of perhaps what you are ready to take in and what you are ready to let go of, to help ignite that flame even brighter. And so the first question is, what weaknesses that I inflict on myself am I ready to truly burn? What weaknesses that I inflict on myself am I truly ready to burn? Spirit's going deep with this question. So, where have you been making excuses that are no longer serving you? And just breathing that in and letting that go. This is not about judgment, but this is just about honoring of what is actually false evidence appearing real and what is our strength. And so breathing into those weaknesses, breathing into that fear, holding that fear at the top, and exhaling out that strength. And next, asking yourself, what do I desire for just me every day? What is one activity that you would like to incorporate into your daily life that is just for you? As the solar plexus chakra is being in the action of our dreams. So, what is one activity that you'd like to start to cultivate now? Breathing that in. Seeing yourself doing that thing and exhaling that out. Whatever that is, seeing yourself doing that and letting that go. And lastly, asking yourself, how would I like to turn up the dial of my inner light? How would I like to turn up the dial of myself? And breathing that in, just seeing that dial. If you could reach out with it, even with your right hand, which connects us to the sun's energy, just dial that up. Even imagine yourself just turning that dial up, breathing that in. It's okay. You still get to be humbled and letting that go. Turning up that dial one more time and letting that go. And we're going to repeat this beautiful mantra that is coming through for this YouTube live that will be different here than it will be on any other platforms I am sharing this meditation on. It'll always be different. And here is the mantra that is coming through right now at this moment at exactly almost 25 minutes into this live, which is this: I ignite my inner light. I ignite my inner light. I ignite my inner light. And so as you receive this Reiki energy healing, I invite you to just imagine that light perhaps it's even a specific color. It doesn't even have to be yellow. Let the yellow just be the inspiration for you igniting that inner light. I ignite my inner light. And now just really feeling that Reiki energy healing around your solar plexus. We're going to just cleanse any of that energy that does not align, self-doubt, any lack of confidence, procrastination. We're just going to let that go just for right now. And now just filling that back up and just imagining that light getting so much bigger. As we just take a deep breath in of all of that healing and let that go. Breathing that in and letting that go. And now as you have your hands still placed, again, if accessible, onto your solar plexus, I invite you to place an intention of one thing that you would like to see burn bright for the rest of this year. There might be many, but one thing that you'd like to see burn bright for the rest of this year. And just breathing that into that solar plexus and letting that go. Sending that out to everybody here, anybody who catches the replay, breathing that in and letting that go as we send future Reiki energy healing to it. And feel free to allow yourself the space to come back. Thank you. Inspired Tubers. Maria, who actually just launched a amazing book. Well, she launched a series of them. And one is the root chakra and now sacral. And so it's really exciting to see this journey because I know that you're going to go through the 7 chakras. So here it is. The last 6 months, I created my chakra course. I have written 2 books. Then I decided to take a break to start my 3rd to replenish my space. I can totally relate to this. I want to release self-doubt and self-sabotage. So interesting that right now, Maria, you're talking about self-doubt and self-sabotage as you're writing the 3rd, chakra. If you're writing them in that order, I'm assuming that you are just based off what you shared, but maybe you're not. So again, if my assumption is inaccurate, no worries. But I think it's so awesome that you are learning in real time, perhaps what you want to incorporate with this chakra. Because this is the area where we hold that self-sabotage, where we second guess ourselves, where we are inspired to keep going, but sometimes we need a little extra fuel to that flame. And maybe that fuel can look like support from a friend. Maybe that fuel can look like reading a book that inspires you. Maybe that fuel could just be resting and absorbing something that doesn't allow you to think too much, where you can just be able to create. I don't know what that looks like, but I think it's so interesting. And I would invite you to share that, you know what, this was on pause and on rest because this solar plexus chakra is all about you, right? This is what this chakra is about. So you're literally the thing is this, as healers, I shared this with another healer and they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, let me explain. A lot of the times as healers, we tend to go first. Okay. In loss, in grief, or this or that. And I'm not saying that that's the recipe, but that can tend to happen. And it's not always a fun place to be in. It's not like we necessarily signed up of like, hey, I wanted to deal with this amount of grief by the age of 37, right? That's how old I am, by the way, in case anybody on YouTube wants to know. Joe, my partner, jokes and says I'm 33, so I'll just stay at 33. But, this is where we get to go first. And so you're learning the lesson in real time, and that's going to inspire an even better version and vision of what you have coming. Joe says, true, it's hard. Let me do it in Joe's voice. True. Wait, I can't do it. Wait, hold on. True. Was that good? I don't know if it was, Joe. It's hard. That's how he says true. It's hard to remove the things that get in our way. Exactly. Because we do, that's the thing, self-sabotage. And so for you, second guessing yourself. Oh my God, my son is 37. Listen, age is just how long you've been on the planet. That's how I look at it. But yeah, I remembered, I am super open. I go to therapy. It's great. I just started seeing a grief, not a Greek. I did go to Greek, and had different type of counseling there where it was like chefs and amazingness. But I did start seeing a grief counselor. And I really struggled with being 37 and going through such a significant amount of loss because, to be honest with you, Maria, I feel very isolated in my age and in the loss that I've experienced that are like pillars, not just like, friends and things like that. And so I share that because, yeah, age is just how long we've been on the earth. And sometimes we get to go first. So really quickly, here's just like a little bit of intuitive insight, and then I'll take readings from all the 5 people that are here, and hopefully more people will come. We'll see, maybe not. So I loved that whole mantra. I ignite my inner light. Joe, if you're watching, can you write that down? I can do it too, but it would take me longer. I ignite, if you don't mind. Love you and thank you. I ignite my inner light. I think that that's a really beautiful one to hold on to within this summer solstice energy, if that makes any sense. Of that, it's not just that it happened yesterday, but it's really the energy behind the sun. I think that, thank you, Maria. I think that we honor so much of the moon's energy that we forget about the sun, and the sun is super important to work with. And so the energy, so I channel animals. I have a chakra and animal card deck that's currently sold out, but I will be ordering more in Divine Dining. But this is the deck. I know that it was actually Maria's first card deck that she ever purchased. So definitely, I got to purchase your chakra books. I'm excited. I got to check that out because I know that they're on Amazon. So I will totally pay it forward and support, and I can't wait to check it out. But this deck, the sloth's energy really goes to timing, pacing, and trust. And that is all the third eye chakra. And it's funny because I've always found that the third eye and that the solar plexus chakra really align, because once we can trust our gut, which that is a very famous, well-known expression, trust in your gut. Don't second guess yourself. Don't second guess your gut. Well, once we actually, thank you so much, Maria, that once we actually step into that place, that's where we can then bring that energy up to the higher chakras and be in that third eye vibration, right? Of seeing the bigger picture. But if we don't feel it, if we don't really trust it in our gut, then let's be honest, it's harder to really kind of see that expansion. And so right now, the sloth's energy is with us saying it's okay to slow down, because in the slowdown, we're actually tuning into that trusting, to that patience, to that we're still building. Just because we might feel slow right now, which we entered Cancer season yesterday on the same day of the summer solstice, which Cancer season is all about that watery energy and kind of going into hibernation. So a lot of us, we are feeling this like activity to kind of get things moving with the summer solstice while starting the Cancer season of kind of going more inward, right? And so here's the first message from the sloth is I trust in the gut, but then the pacing. So first trusting in your gut what you choose to know to be true. Listen, you don't have to choose this to be true, right? When you see all of these people out there on like, you know, social media that are like, how do I put it? Like just trust in yourself or you got this and all of this confidence, that's fantastic. But it's also the pacing in that. But like start at that foundation, start in that core, but then don't feel pressured to feel like it has to happen overnight. And you don't even have to start in that place. You can maybe start a little bit slower by just saying, okay, I just trust that this week I'll start to feel better. B, I love you, B. You're on here. I love you so much. Like your pacing doesn't have to look the same as others. That's what I was trying to get to earlier, and somehow I lost my train of thought. So let me just get back to that thought. Like your pacing does not have to look the same as others. So you don't have to get on TikTok or YouTube or this one or that one and be like, you know what? I just got to get out there, or I just have to like, lose weight or this or that. And that my pacing has to look the same as somebody else. No, it does not. It does not. Your pacing gets to look like what it feels organic at your pace. And I share this all the time, especially with spiritual entrepreneurs, because where I've seen a big disconnect, and I swear to God, I'm going to make this a workshop. You know what? Maybe that could be the intention. Well, first it's the Reiki Masters. Then this will be the intention of a secondary of like, you are your own workshop, because I see all of these people that are huge in the influential, spiritual community. They're like, just get out there, let go of that corporate job, step into your dreams. Okay, you know what? I couldn't do that. For me, I had to know, can I pay my bills and do what I love? Because if I can't do that, I'm just bringing stress to the thing that it is that I want to do. Bottom line, period. Okay. So your pacing, it's a lifestyle change. Anything that we do that is a huge jump, a diet, a leaving a relationship, a stepping into a new environment of what our everyday works, that is a lifestyle change. And so when sometimes we rush it because, the desire is there, we want it so bad, or because we are just over it and ready to be in the thing, that's when the burnout and fatigue comes in. Think about all of the I'm going with diets. I don't know why we're talking about solar plexus. Maybe it's the digestive system. Think about all these fads that we've had with diets, like just like let go of carbs, just eat pickles, whatever these diet trends that we've, like experienced over the years. And whenever you've done that, it's like, you gain back that weight quickly. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying wherever you are, that's beautiful. It's more or less what I'm saying to you is that if you're really trying to create anything, okay, know that it is a lifestyle change for yourself that hopefully is one that is more fulfilling. And so that might take longer. And so it's not about second guessing it. It's about not second guessing the timing and the pacing of it. One more time. It's not about second guessing the thing. It's about not second guessing the timing and the pacing. And I'll add one more of how it unfolds. Are you feeling me, YouTube? Please tell me that you are, because I'm feeling this right now. All right, because I love this, because what I got is that even if I don't know my heart can always find a way to honor and carry on. Because even if I don't know, my heart will find a way to honor but carry on. Am I allowed to curse on here, Joe?
Not harshly.
Okay. I'm taking one more sip of my water on that one. I was only going to say one bad word, but I'm not going to say it. Now that I know. Putting that out there. Okay. So, all right, being censored. Here we go. What I was going to say is that we've been through some stuff. Okay. Figure that other SL word. It's not about singing. I'm told all the time to just quit my regular job to honor my Reiki business. Ugh. Yeah, like, listen, like, work hard at them both. And I'm only going to share this with you because it's like, I can't wait for you to be doing that full time. And you will be, Maria. You're already like there. It's so evident. Hi, Sasha. This is the time for you to like, yeah, like you're gonna just know. Somebody told me some really great advice. They're like, it's just like having a baby. Like there's never a right time, even if you're trying or whatever. It's like there's never a right time. You just kind of do it. Like that's kind of how I feel about that. So listen, we've all been through some stuff, okay? Right now. Oh no, we're gonna go deep. Because on YouTube, I'm creating the intention to go deep and to impact a lot of beautiful souls that are not coming to meditation apps, that maybe do not want to be on social media, that somehow will benefit from this live. So my intention is high here. Highest vibration always wins. So my highest vibration is right now. So right now, I'm going to just invite you. This is when it's going to be deep, to place your hands onto your solar plexus and think about one of the hardest things that you have experienced. Loss. It's really just what's coming through. Loss in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't have to just be of a person, but just think about that. And now bring your hands to your heart and take a deep breath in. Sending so much gratitude for this breath and exhaling that out. And now placing one of those hands onto your solar plexus and one on your heart. And just thinking about how, even in spite of all of that, you are here listening to this live. You are here in this moment. Think about that. You are here in this moment, in spite of what you went through. So breathe in that inspiration and let that go. So we don't know how we get through difficult stuff, but our desire to just take a breath every day somehow runs through. And so that's what I'm talking about here. By the way, B, I totally want to reach out to you on Sunday. I was thinking of you and your dad. Think about that. That's potent. So whenever you're in this space of second guessing yourself, whenever you're in this space of depression and I can't get through and I don't know, I am not dismissing any of that. But what I'd like to honor in each and every one of you is that you actually take a moment and honor all the stuff that you've been through, and that even in spite of all that, you're still taking a breath. You get to take a breath. You don't have to take a breath. You get to take a breath. So I honor you for being here, for taking that breath. So I'll take any questions. I'll do a couple quick readings. I think last time I went for like an hour and a half. We'll probably condense that. Tears flowing. Oh, thank you, Maria. We're all rooting for you. We're all rooting for you to be in your thing full time, because once you're in that thing full time, we get to experience it all the time, but we're still experiencing it now. So like you're getting to do both, and you're getting to do it in a time and a pace that actually feels more aligned to your frequency. I won't give too many details, but I'll share this. I was so upset, so frustrated. I can't curse, I guess, on YouTube. Instagram I can, but I can't here. So Instagram 1, just saying on that one. 1, 2, but there's a lot of advantages to YouTube, so, we'll go too crazy. But just saying right now, there is one point if Instagram with being able to curse. But I was so upset because I had been told from a reader that like I wasn't going to be in the thing that I really wanted to do, my Reiki career full time, until I was 35, which actually ended up coming into fruition, which was fruition. No fruition. I always get that wrong. There you go. Dyslexia coming through hardcore. And and had I had left my career job earlier, I wouldn't have been able to really support myself in the thing that I'm doing now. So that was where I was upset in that moment, but allowed it to be something that was a truth. And I think that was psychic predictions. What I would say is that like take what you want and lovingly leave the rest. So I took it, but I left it of I'm still always in control here. All right, so now we have 8 people on. Let's see if there's anybody who would like a quick reading, or I don't know, just a question or something that you have. Thank you for being so vulnerable here on YouTube. I'm coming on YouTube at least once a week, people. Get ready. I have to find a consistent date to really doing it. I feel like it might be Fridays because I already do so many lives on Fridays, but yeah. Hi, Pam. Yeah, I'm on YouTube. I know. Pam, you got to, well, you don't have to, but I can't wait for you to reach out to me. I'm in such a great space, way better space, that like, let's make it happen for you and all the magic. Yes. So definitely reach out to me. Just, I think you have my number. Just, message me. If anybody wants to connect with me here, follow me at Just Be Inspired on Instagram, or justbeinspired.com, or justbeinspired@gmail.com. I can't believe that you're here, Pam. Welcome. All right, so I'm going to take a couple readings. So if you want a reading, just say yes. And I'm going to actually do Reiki, little quick readings for people. So I'm not going to even use my card decks. This is the thing. I don't want you to be bored. Okay. All right. So Sasha's in. So Sasha's a yes. Sasha B. Okay. We'll wait for more people to come through. Oh, I see you actually, Pam. So I'm going to do Sasha, Pam, B. Okay. We got Maria. Maria. I had to say it like that because I forgot that it was Maria versus Marie, because terrible with names, and also the dyslexia really kicked in. Yeah, I'm coming on YouTube, and this is my thing. I don't want you to come onto YouTube, then watch me on Insight Timer, then watch me on Instagram and be like, why is Jess talking about the same stuff? I might reference and mention some things if I find it relevant to the live that I'm doing that day, but like my intention, like on Insight Timer, we're going to talk about completely different things tomorrow. We're going to do a completely different meditation, just FYI. And then on Instagram, it's going to be the same thing, very different. Like I am really intentionally trying to not just be on all the platforms to be on all the things, but be on the platforms to actually do things differently with a different intention on the platform. So here we go. So I'm going to just start off with Sasha. I'm tuning into your energy. Okay, this is good. This is really good. Okay. So I feel like I'm gonna need to write. It's like just coming through so quickly. So Sasha, obviously, if it's okay, if I share about your mom, I feel like there was a certain dish that both of you enjoyed to indulge in together. It feels like some type of soup. I could be wrong, but I'm sensing some of this. And the lion's energy is with you right now, which is really reminding you that you are the master of your domain. And I think that it's about courage and bold and fierce energy, but in a different way. You're learning how to boldly balance the reality of where you are and the reality of where you wish to go. Okay. And so what I got here is you're learning how to get back out there in ways that balance some of that desire meeting reality. And that's a great place to be in. It's kind of something that we spoke about earlier. Like you're kind of your own workshop right now. And the thing that perhaps is now creating more balance is actually helping you to feel more a little bit at ease and the thing that is that you desire. So right now, it's important for you. I would invite you with the lion's energy is to tap into that solar plexus energy and focus on the desired outcome. Focus on the bigger vision. This opportunity that you're in right now is actually allowing you a more restful space to doing that. You're not having to feel as distracted. You're not having to feel like you got to hustle. You got to like work it out. You're in a space more of like, okay, this is where I am, but you're not going to stay here forever. So it's important that while you're in this place to stay in it, but balance it with where it is that you really want to go because it's a divine opportunity to feel settled more in that energy. Does that make sense? And I love that for whatever reason, I keep seeing soup with you and your mom. And I feel like that's just like, this is learning of like what balances me in all ways, but ultimately, how do I wish to feel and fill my soul? Because I feel like soup is so soulful. Like, how do I wish to feel my, fill my soul and really feel it? Um, there we go. So like to look at all the ingredients that you're putting in there, and it doesn't have to be one or the other. It gets to be this divine combination of them both. But really, the ultimate goal is enjoy it at the moment that you're in right now, because that moment is actually getting you to where it is that you want to be. So there's nothing, I don't want to say wrong that has happened, but things have shifted, and that's okay because that's getting you to where you want to be. Oh yeah, they're delicious. I'm like I don't even I'm not a soup person and I would want some of the soup. Maybe you can create some for Joe because he's not feeling well. Okay, here we go for Pam. So we got Pam next. Okay. Okay. Pam, is it okay for me to speak about your mom? All the moms are coming through hardcore. Isn't this funny? With the sun's energy that usually connects to like the masculine, just saying however you identify, but the more masculine father energy. But I love this, Pam. I think that this animal has totally come through for you before, the panda bear. And that panda bear is all about harmonizing and being within your heart chakra and bringing more peace and balance. And Pam, you have children? Yes. Yes. I could be wrong, but I believe that you do. At least this is very interesting, this message. You don't have children. Okay. So this is interesting because then this is about yourself. You won't? Okay, then you know, that I consider that. But, so this is what I'm getting. Whew. Oh, this makes so much more sense now. Okay, got it. Okay. So, Pam, here we go. This is about being less judgmental on yourself right now. I feel like you have been in this beautiful vibration of like being hard on yourself and then being less hard on yourself and being hard on yourself and being less hard on yourself, like kind of like doing this like dance. And it's like spirit is saying it's like less judgment, more celebration, and empowering yourself as your own parent. And that's why I think your mom's energy is coming through. Getting emotional in a good way of like that, like being the parent to yourself. Like if you could really parent yourself and if you could really talk to yourself in the ways that are less heavy, more consistently, what would that look like? And we're all doing it. You're not alone, by the way. Even if I'm reading for one person, I'm reading for the collective, FYI. So I can take a cue from this. So, it's just being in more of that consistent and that less judgment. I also feel like, do you have any plans to take a trip soon? Or would you like to take a trip soon? Or did you take a trip? Because I think that just getting out of like your normal everyday routine will really help to support this energy. Perfect. Love it. Go hiking. Think about how, if you could be the highest parent to yourself, what would that look like? Being less in this conflict. I don't want to say conflict. That's not the right word. That's really dramatic. Being in less, being in more consistency. That's it. Being in more consistency of less judgment and more of that light-hearted energy, and just being the parent to yourself, knowing that your mom, everybody's empowering this, shining this down on you. And I'm excited for your trip to Palm Springs. So I was like, oh yeah, definitely a trip is in the near future. So I'm excited that it's happening this weekend. So let me know how that resonates with you as I move on to B. And then we'll go to Maria. Good. Yeah, it's good. It's totally around you. All right, B, here we go. This one's funny. I also know B. All right. Pretty well, so that's why. I'm like, okay. All right. I see what's going on, B. All right. Oh, hi, Amy. All right. So here we go. So for B, my beautiful friend, you have the lynx's energy with you, which is pay attention and instincts. And this is where I think that this is very interesting for you, because I think that you may be getting caught up in the attention of perfectionism, that things have to look a certain way, be done a certain way before you can really put it out there. And it's like, no, 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 no. Let's not allow that type of energy to really kind of set place. I was literally just talking about you today, Amy, with one of my clients, FYI, who doesn't know you. And I was like, Amy Hydart. Yeah. And so what I got is look beyond what I think and tap into how you feel. Look beyond what you think and tap into what you feel. Does this feel like the right next thing to go with? Does this feel like the next best place to perhaps put my energy into? Does this really feel like something that I want to create? Because your instincts are actually creating everything. So the more that you tap into that intuitive energy, that is actually going to be the catalyst to getting you into the more divine right alignment, where like naturally the people, the experiences, the surroundings. You're going to like let go of some of this perfectionism because you're going to just be in this space of like, wow, I followed my instincts and like everything that everybody has said to me today makes sense. Everything that everybody bought, received, whatever it is, they all just like loved it. And you're going to be like, wow. And it's going to be like this amazing sheer reminder that when you're in that space versus the perfectionism and just kind of going into that instinctual, intuitive energy, that's what's keeping you forward. That's what's helping you to move forward. And I think that you did that probably really well. The mom's energies, again, coming through strong. You did that really well with your mom of instinctively just keeping strong. And so if you can apply that there, my loves, you can apply that anywhere in your life. All right, last one, Maria, before I bounce. And again, follow me on YouTube. I guess I have, Joe, I should probably have a consistent day that I come on here, right? Probably. We're still filling it out. We're still filling it out? Okay. Joe is sometimes on air, or behind air. So right now he's behind air. Anything you want to say? You can just put it in the text message right here. All right, Maria, here we go. I also am really into mugs, everybody. I want to be known for mugs. Right now, I got a couple mugs. 2 of them are unicorn. This one like legit looks like a unicorn, but I probably will be wanting to purchase more fun mugs. There's just water in it. That's the other thing with mugs. You can conceal this to be whatever you want. Love that Joe's your producer. 100%. I want to have guests as well. Joe, you figured that out, right? In case you like want to, like, for example, interview Maria for her books. Like, we figured this out with the OS system, right?
Yes. OBS.
OBS. Does anybody have to have certain qualifications before, like, just put that into the chat if you don't mind. In case you want to be a part of this. Okay, here we go for Maria. Maria. Ooh. Okay. Maria. So Maria, you have a male energy with you. So I don't know. I feel like you may have posted about your dad, so I could be wrong. I'm not quite sure, but strong male energy with you. Older male, not younger too. Oh, thanks. How much? Put a 1. Thank you. Yes, I love it. Okay. I love the animal that you got. So I'm wearing my. Okay, then it's your dad. It's interesting. Was your dad strong but soft at the same time? Curious. Please leave in the comments. So I'm wearing my mala created by Be Here. So if you want amazing malas that are Reiki infused with a message that was so spot on, okay? And I mean, this mala, I've never felt any energy like it. So just everybody here follow B. Rebecca Salvatore, who's also phenomenal woman 13 on Instagram. Yes, it's not even just that it's beautiful, but it's the power behind it. I keep saying that I'm going to do a reel, and I really need to do a reel. I might have Joe like help me shoot this because it's like it needs like some love, this potency. So you have the tiger. This is where I got so off track, but you have the tiger here, which is telling me that there's this opportunity of you living on his legacy by honoring that sense of balance. Again, balance I know came through for the first reading, but this opportunity to really kind of flow between being soft and being bold, where you don't have to just look like one or the other. Okay. The tiger, they give us this invitation to be more bold and to be more fierce, but they love to look up at a full moon, which is that intuitive, soft energy. And so, what I'm getting for you is I trust that I get to be bold and soft at the same time. So, it's putting yourself out there, I think, in more fearless and courageous ways, and that it doesn't have to look soft all the time. It can look a little bit more um, bold, and I want to almost say masculine, but that's like not the right word, but it can look more solar, with the sun's energy. And I think that you're feeling some of that, which is so perfect for you right now. And I got this because to help me release how I think I have to show up and how I get to. So it's giving less of what other people think or what your persona has to be around being a healer. And listen, we all get caught up in that place, myself included, of like, like I'm not allowed to curse and be a spiritual teacher except for on YouTube. I mean, I can on Instagram again. But like just being able to be like, hey, I can be direct and I can feel that the information that I am giving, I know, because the tiger's energy connects us to that clear cognizance. So it's knowing when to have that sense of boldness and that sense of softness. And you're always going to be soft because that's who you are, and be tender, and you're going to be loving with others. You're not going to offend or be, but it's just being bold in how you put yourself out there and the stories and everything you're sharing, that it doesn't have to look like love and light, like I mean that in the most loving way of like, even for myself, like I talk about like death and grief, and like I'm not like, but I always know I connect with them and they're always around me. I'm like, no, I miss my sister every day. I miss talking to her. I miss my dad. I miss him so much. That loss is actually like driving me way more because I didn't have really time to process and grieve it. Nothing against my mom, but my mom literally had nowhere to go, and in a way of like she came and was with me, and it was like of course about her and her grief, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that in the sense of like I hadn't had time to process it. And so for me, I don't talk about my dad as often because it's not something that I am still like completely moved through. And it's okay for me to like own that, even my post on Father's Day was about missing him. It wasn't like, I know that you're always with me and you're my spirit guide, versus if it was a post about my sister, it'd probably be more about that. So you're still going to always have that softness and that tenderness that flows through your healing, that flows through your story, because that's who you are. You are a person that wants to love and to leave people with that feeling in their heart, but you get to be more bold in how you also share it and finding that connection. So I hope that serves you well. Any last questions before we bounce? I am so excited. Saturday was a good day. Maybe I'll come back on YouTube on Saturday. But I feel like Saturday was a fun time here. Hopefully that served you well. Hopefully all the messages did. Anything that anybody wants to share? I'm going to finish this water because it's really good before I bounce. The only thing with this mug is it's not really, I don't know, it's not really like realistic. It would be better for soup. Sasha, I need some soup in here. Thank you. Make sure and be gentle with yourself. Thank you so much, B. I wanted to reach out to you to say, like, girl, I like was very honest with everybody today on Instagram. I'm like, I've been going through it. So I haven't felt called. I've literally just been conserving my energy to do lives. Like that's where it's been at. Yeah, it's not it's too wide. Once I moved, you came over. Love that I got to hop on. Oh, I love you so much, Amy. So everybody, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday. So for anybody that is joining me and follows me, join me on Insight Timer Live. We're going to talk about some crystals. We're going to do a whole different kind of meditation, talk about the different energy of the sun. So please, please, please join me tomorrow for a summer solstice on Insight Timer, 11:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then I'm going to do a collective card reading for working with the sun's energy. So it'll be a little bit different. Again, everything is different than what I'm doing. Also, if you feel called to follow me on Insight Timer, I just launched my course. This course has been in the making for like 2 years. All right, everyone. So I launched my course. It took forever to launch it. I love Insight Timer, but it was a lot of love. It's 15 minutes every day. You're going to learn so much about chakras, about crystals. You're going to receive a guided meditation and also bonus a channeled message, okay? That is a Reiki intuitive message to utilize within your chakras. So that is on Insight Timer. It is a 7-day course. I don't know exactly how the insides of Insight Timer work, that like you could just do it like over 7 weeks. It just says 7 days. We'll just go with that. 7 days, 15 minutes. What else? So I'll be on live tomorrow talking a little bit more about that as well. And then I'll also be doing a live. I am going to also be announcing 2 exciting things tomorrow. One is that I will be having that crystal workshop. So for anybody that did purchase a significant amount on my last crystal live sale, you will have a free pass into this intro into crystal healing workshop. It's one of my favorite workshops. It's super potent, powerful, and fun and interactive. So I will be posting that, which will be like mid-end July. And then I also will be releasing a channeling chakra course. So this is going to be a different chakra. We're going to go through how to really channel. You're going to be doing readings with other people in this course. So it's really good for people who already are perhaps doing readings and healings, or people that are new. Wherever you are in the spectrum, you'll feel welcomed, but it will be a great way to kind of start to exercise your intuition in a safe environment. And who knows, maybe I'll see you all on Saturday here on YouTube for something kind of fun. We'll see. And I'm hoping that you're enjoying the YouTube content. Please feel free to share. What do I say? Share, like this video? What do I say? Share, like, what do I do?
If they could like the video.
Okay, if you can like the video, that's helpful. What else?
Like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe. That was the other S. I was going to say something nice. Like, comment, subscribe. Anything you want to say, Joe? Can people follow your YouTube channel as well?
Oh, no, thank you so much. Everything's just be inspired, just be inspired, and just be inspired. All
Whatever.
platforms.
You can also follow Joe. I'm sure I'm following him. I don't know. I'm sure he's tagged in something. Anyways, but we absolutely love you. Do you want to say goodbye? Do you want to come say hello and goodbye? Just say hi and bye before we bounce. With your amazing shirt on. This is Joe Fancy, by the way. Oh, he's not coming. Just kidding. No, you are coming. Okay.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Y'all have been amazing.
I love how it autofocuses.
We're gonna go eat
like
Mexican
that.
food.
Is that what we're gonna do? Okay, we're gonna go eat Mexican food.
We're gonna get some soup in honor of Sasha.
All right, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining, and yeah, have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your evening. I don't even know how to. I know, but there we go. Okay. Okay.